Welcome back, class, to Defense Against Dark Arts. So we're going to continue our series on beasts. So, if you turn your beast books to page 18, we're going to learn about boggarts. Now, boggart sizes are unknown because they can shift from small to medium to large. Now, does anybody who can tell me what a boggart is? Anybody? Yes. That is correct. No one knows. The boggart takes form of the observer's greatest fear. So, for me, I am afraid of sometimes many things. Now, the boggart is a shapeshifting spirit that has a unique ability to take form of whatever the observers fear most. It is theorized that nobody knows what a boggart looks like in its natural state. Muggles are capable of feeling the present. Muggles are capable of feeling its presence. However, they tend to attribute the strange sensation to their vivid imagination. So when a Muggle sees it, they just think like, "Oh, must be a unicorn. Oh, it's a fairy," because they can't see what it really is. So they just think that it's some sort of imaginary creature. But actually, it's a boggart. But for us wizards and witches, we see what it actually is. It's a shapeshifter. And to us, it shows our fears, which they are very, very foul creatures. Boggarts prefer to live in the dark, confined places such as wardrobes and cupboards. They often give signs of their presence by making rattling noises. They also can be found in shadowy basements or attic corners. They are similar to a poltergeist. Boggarts have truly been alive and thus classified to be non-beings, opposed to beasts, although boggarts cannot be killed at all. They can be made by disappeared by using a spell, Ridiculous. Later on, we will learn how you will use that spell, Ridiculous. So for now, we are learning about the creature, about boggarts, and then later I'll teach you how to use that spell. Now, when forces to form something amusing rather than scary, let me take these off, excuse me. Rather than scary, they relieve the spell caster's laughter, ultimately causing the boggart to vanish. So, when you cast the spell, Ridiculous, that kind of repels them a little bit. But, what makes them vanish more is laughter, of course. If you find something that is funny in your mind and then cast a spell, they will be in that form and will laugh. Because if you have in your head, you will see it. Of course, I'll show you later when they cast a spell. The best way to combat this fighting the spirit is in groups. In a group. So the more people, the more laughter, the more it will vanish because it feels like embarrassed. Of course. When faced with multiple wizards, the boggart becomes confused and tries to shift into several fears at the same time. Because it'll say, "Oh, I see that witch. Oh, I see that witch. Okay, I see that. Oh, but what do I do?" Because there's more than one, and it trying to shape into something else's that fear, but it cannot. Because when the cast uses Ridiculous, it gets something else, and it confuses them. In certain cases, it must adapt to the size of the victim's fear to limitations of the space where it resides. Now, let's see. Therefore, let's see. A boggart is used defense against the dark arts exam. So at your end of your exam, so you're in your exam, I'll get later, I believe the boggarts. Boggarts are mentioned in Muggle fairy tales, not notably in English folk tale, where Bog is mischievous, is imp. It is said to play tricks and pranks on children and pets of a household, which is attached in other stories to present as a malevolent spirit lurking around dark roads, fields, marshes, where it is known to terrorize lonely travelers. So, you had to be very careful around boggarts. So, next we're going to learn about... Let me find it. Go to see. So, another creature we're going to learn about is a ghoul. So, please turn your books to 72. So, a ghoul is a medium-sized, amortal. It is slimy, buck teeth, slight resemblance to ogres, can disguise themselves as objects. See. Okay, here we go. They can disguise themselves, which they could live in the houses, in a toilet, or whatever they want to live in. They can disguise themselves as certain objects. Though notoriously ugly, with their slimy skin and distorted features. Ghouls are not dangerous to wizards or witches. Hence, they are mild, known as rating 2. So, for magic ministry. So, number 2 is basically level 2 of a creature. Level 1 is, very low. Level 2 is mild. Level 3 is medium. Level 4 is high. Level 5 is extremely high. So basically they're kind of muck. Some wizard families find themselves interesting rather than have them removed and choose to coexist with ghouls as pets. Now, you can have one as a pet, but they can be occasionally noisy and throw objects at you. However, it is best to use as a decoy, using decoys or others, Ghouls often inhabit the less frequent areas of the household, such as attics or basements, where they feed on moths and spiders. In an event such as the beast is not welcome, the Ghoul Task Force Department of Regulation, the control of magic creatures, can remove it if you don't want it in your house. This may especially use for chameleon ghouls, a subspecies capable of disguising themselves into common objects, such as statues, that can be detected. In the Muggle world, ghoul is often used similarly with undead monsters or phantoms that haunt graveyards and typically eat human flesh. So, basically, the Muggles, they kind of see them as zombies. Because when a Muggle sees our magical creatures, they can see them, but some they cannot. Some of them that they see them differently. So, to a Muggle, they see them as some sort of zombie creature. In every tradition, a ghoul or Gahul is a large demon that may shape-shift and feed on humans, whether living or dead. It's not the sort of creatures want to be kept as pets, because they can cause mischief, they can throw objects at you, They can be noisy. So I would hide on that as the pets. And later I will teach you a spell of how to repel them. So for what we have. So for our next creature we'll be learning about is, please turn your books to Pixies. Let me find it. So please turn your books to page 152. Now pixies are tiny, they're mortal. They are a bright blue miniature human form, wingless. Now pixies can fly. Wingless means that they have very small wings. Hailing from the English country of Cornwall, pixies are small humanoid creatures that can fly despite their lack of wings. And they enjoy playing pranks on wizards and witches as well. Surprisingly strong, pixies will often grab humans by the ear and cheekily lift them up into trees, buildings, or chandeliers, or other objects they can hang you on. Unlike fairies, which we will learn about fairies very soon, they give birth rather than lay eggs, and communicate using an unintelligible high-pitched sound. So it is very howling, like a very high-pitched squeaking sound. They can wreak havoc. It means they can make a very, very big mess. You want to avoid that. There is a spell that, of course, one of Professor Lockhart made, which it really does not work, because what that spell does, really, is it actually makes them quite angry. Well, later I will teach you about that spell and what it actually means and what it does. So you will not want to use that spell at all. Basically what it does, it makes them fail. It fails. Makes them to coral them. And it makes them kind of like flee and scatter all over the place. So you don't want to do that. So basically you want to use one spell called Immobilize, and I will teach you that later. Immobilize is a freezing spell that actually freezes them. The cats among pixies now, cats can actually catch pixies, they can. The variation of the phase of the cats among pigeons, used when someone has done something that causes trouble or anger to a larger group. Muggles of the Southwest English, especially those of Devon and Cornwall, believe the pixies are tiny people who enjoy playing tricks. Said to have childlike personalities, these creatures amuse themselves by misleading travelers and dancing in the moonlight. Now, pixies are classified as level 3, medium, because sometimes they are a little bit difficult, to handle. Now, for your homework, what I'd like you to do is tell me a little bit something about these creatures. What creature would you not want to face? So in your essay, tell me, what creature would you not want to face in battle or be in contact with? Would you rather be a boggart, a ghoul, or a pixie? And if you tell me pick one of those, tell me why would you not want to be in front of one of those creatures or those beasts. So that is what I'd like you to do, okay? And I'll see you next class. Class dismissed.